Hello viewers, welcome to UN Autonomous College. Today we are going to discuss about a concept that is known as file uploading system in our JSP part. So we know that in our JSP concept we are doing lots of things, how to design a login page, how to add a one technique that is known as a pagination, and how to make a one registration section. And today we are going to discuss what are the different ways through which you can make an option to load, or you can say that is known as upload some files to our JSP part. Now we can focus on a slide. So in this section we are going to discuss what are the different outlines about this topic, that is known as what are the different part of your, that is procedure through which you can creating a file upload form in our JSP part. Then we are learning what are the different writing backend JSP script. We know that whenever user want to develop any type of scripting based application, each and every type of application must be developed through a specific web pattern, but that pattern must be depends on a specific type of user. At last we are learning what are the different ways through which you can be represent an example. Next we are going to discuss what are the real introduction about this topic. Here a JSP can be used with an HTML form tag to allow users to upload files to the server. That means we know that each and every section, that means those sections are used in our web development, and each and every type of web development applications must be developed through like our HTML form tag. That means that is the HTML form tag always helps to develop our web page application, but that HTML part must be linked with our JSP part through which you can make a coordination between two concepts. So this is one general way through which you can be make a one relation between the front end to our back end part, so that if a user can take the help of like HTML form tag which allows a specific type of users, they can easily upload their files to the server. We know that each and every type of server must store different type of applications in our web part. So an uploaded file can be a text file or a binary or an image file or just any document. So it is a general way of implementation through which you can be accessed in our JSP part. So here the uploaded file means we need to make an upload through our text file or any type binary relevant file or any image files, whatever, or you can say any type of document. That document may be a PDF, the document may be docx file. They need to be uploaded through our client section to server section. So next we are going to discuss how to creating a file upload form. We know that whenever user want to create any type of form designing, in that moment we must to take the help of our HTML language. You know that hypertext markup language gives a platform through which you can design a web page, and that web page must contain some specific type of tags. General common tags we have like our HTML, head, then body, then title, then what are the different type of text style like a bold, heading tag, and italic tag, and order, another, table, then anchor tag. What are the different type of tags are used to design that a specific type of web page. So in this section we want to design a form, and that form must take the help of a specific type of tag which is relevant to our HTML part. So the tag named as form tag, and that form tag must be implemented through a specific pattern which is already discussed in this slide. Now focus on a slide. So in this slide we are already adding a part, and in this part we have a one point like here. Let us now understand how to create a file upload form, and the following HTML code creates an uploader form. So the following are the important points to be noted down. So here the form method attribute should be set to post method, and get method cannot be used. We know that each and every type of relevant of form tag, each and every type of form tag must have a and type of specific type of attribute named as method. In that method attribute we need to use two type of method, that is known as a post method, next one known as a get method. Through these two methods we can easily posting some records from front end to our back end. So here the form that is known as the NC type attribute should be set to multi-part or form data. So this is a specific type of attribute through which you can easily transfer some specific type of value from the client side to our server side. So the form action attribute should be set to a JSP file which would handle file uploading to backend server. So we know that whenever user want to gives any type of request from their front end to their backend, and each and every moment we need a specific type of program. That means it is known as one type of interfacing program, and that interfacing program helps to design a specific type of pattern like your JSP pattern or Sublet pattern, but here we prefer to design this type of application through a specific type of file that is named as JSP application. Through that JSP application, we are making a format through which you can be easily transmit some information from source end to destination end. And here the file named as the upload file.jsp. That means we are going to design a JSP page, and that JSP page contains some information or some statement which are regarding to our file uploading part. So in that part we are specially mention some information, and those information must be recorded in our system. So next we are going to discuss what are the different ways through which you can be process it. So here, to upload a single file, you should use a single input tag. So here that input tag helps to put some information, that means from the user side information from source end to destination end. So that we are prefer to use like that is known as an input tag, and that input tag is a one type of pair tag. If a user can want to write this input tag with some specific type of attribute like type and some name, then value, but here we need to specify which type of control is required to adding in our web page. So in that moment we need to add a specific type of command like a control that is known as a file. Here the file is one type of control which gives a section through which you can adding some specific type of files, that may be a text file, that may be a image file, that may be a document file which is successfully added in our system. So it is a general way through which can be processed. So to allow multiple files uploading, then include more than one input tag, so with different values for the name attribute, so that each and every type of file uploading section contains a specific type of attribute which is named as name attribute. That means if a page contains more than one file uploading option, we need to distinguish between these two type of file uploading options. In that moment, that name attribute helps to distinguish between two different sections which is mentioned in our system, so that a user must want to prefer to use some record. In this section already was mentioned here, if a user want to add multiple number of file uploading option, in that moment we can take the help of an attribute that is known as a name attribute. Through that name attribute we can make a option through which you can be distinguished between two type of uploading options which are added in our web page, so that we know that each and every type of web page must be accessed through a specific type of web browser that is known as a Google Chrome, that may be your Mozilla Firefox, that may be your Netscape Navigator, but here we need to prefer any type of web browser to access this type of web pages, so that if a user want to add any type of button, in that moment user can change the type of an input tag. If a user can put a submit, then it can create a submit button. If a user can put a button, it can create a normal button. If a user can write the type named as a one type of that is known as a cancel, it can create a cancel button in our web page. So that is a general way through which you can be design our form information in our web page. Next we are going to discuss how to design that simple uploading form page. So here we have a coding which is related to our, that is the form uploading part. So it is a general HTML tag. So it is one HTML page we are designing here. We have multiple file uploading option, but we need to process each and every type of information here. So first of all, user want to put like HTML tag, then user must write a heading tag. In that heading tag we have a title which is named as a file uploading form, and that file uploading form is known as the title of a specific type of web browser, or you can say web page. Then we can close that title, then we need to end like that is known as a heading section. If a user want to end that heading section, user must put like a / then head. Head is act as a head tag. So finally we can design a body section. In that body section we have some statements. The first statement written as a file upload, and that file upload with a specific pattern of that heading tag like S3. If a user can put S3 then file upload, in that moment it can shows in this output section. It is a one subpart of a web browser, and there is a output of this coding. So in that moment, if a user can write file upload option with heading option like S3, in that moment it can shows in our web browser. If a user can write select a file to upload statement here, then it is automatically displayed in a web browser. We need to break its line. Then we can write a one adding some file uploading option. In that moment we can write a specific part like form, then space action. Here we have a form tag. In that form tag we have an attribute named as action. In that action attribute we are writing here one type of upload sublet code. That means it is a one type of JSP part we can say, or it is known as a one sublet code we can say. But here that upload sublet is a part of our one type of sublet code which is already designed in your next slide. So this form is written a specific type of method type named as a post, because you know that in this program a user must add a file, then we need to submit that file. In that moment we can take the help of method named as a post. Then we have a NC type, means that is known as encrypt type. In that encrypt type we have a specific value named as a multipart or form data. So it is a general way of explanation through which you can be mentioned in this programming environment. So finally we have a adding a control in this form tag. We can take the help of input tag. In that input tag must taking a another part named as a attribute named as a type. In the type attribute we have a control which is named as file. So in that file it helps to design this option. So that file option, or we can say uploading option with unique name, can be mentioned through an attribute named as a name. In that name we can adding here named as a file. It is size is known as a 50 and we can break it. In that moment we can create another option that is known as a submit button. In that submit button we have a one option named as a file upload, means we can say upload file. Here that upload file is known as a button, and that option is known as a, that is the file option is known as a choose file. That means if a user never choosing any type of file through this option, then it can shows like no file chosen. If a user can click on this choose file option, then it can give the environment. From that environment we can select a specific type of file, that may be like a document file, or that may be one type of audio or video file, whatever. Then we can select it automatically, then we need to post it. Whenever user need to post this file, we must press that submit button which is already displayed in this web browser section. So next we are going to discuss how to write some backend JSP script, because you know that each and every JSP script must be shown in our environment. If a user want to put the JSP part, in that moment we must adding some coding in their section. So here let us now define a location where the uploaded files will be stored. You can hard code this in your program, or this directory name can also be added using an external configuration which is already displayed in our web.xml file. So that is known as extensible markup language. It is one type of configuration file which is already added in our JSP part, or we can say sublet part. But here in this configuration file, and that is named as a web.xml file. So in that XML file we have some tag which is known as a web app. That is a web app is a tag. Another known as a context param. That context param takes out some parameter from the user section which contains some description which is already mentioned in this slide, which is named as a location to store uploaded file. If a user want to write this statement in this slide, then it helps to describe a specific environment of a JSP page. Then we have a param name, means it is a gives a environment which is named as a parameter name, and that is named as file upload, and is the end with a param name. Then we have a param value which contains a location of a specific file where the JSP code is executed in a which type of web server, because we know that we have a web server that is named as Apache Tomcat, version is known as a 5.529, and that file is exist in our web apps folder. In that folder we have another folder named as a data. Inside the data we are storing our information of documents in it. So we can end that param value, then we can end to context parameter statement, then we can need to close that web app configuration section. So it is a general way through which you can be mentioned in this section. Finally, we are going to design what are the different procedures through which we can be creating this upload file.jsp. So if a user want to create like upload file.jsp, coding. So in that moment we can take the help of a jar file, and that jar file that is named as a commons hyphen file upload.x.x.jar. So this jar file need to adding in our web page. If a user never adding this type of jar file, that means your Apache is unable to catch or select a specific type of file which is uploaded through a web browser. So it is a general way through which you can be mentioned here. So another file named as a file upload depends on common IO options also. So we can need to use another type of jar file to make sure you have latest version of command io.extra. Means it's a version that may be 5.5.jar, whatever we can be having in our website. So it is added in our class path, and which is downloaded from this HTML part, that is known as one type of HTML part, is a link through which you can be download this jar file. So it is a general way through which you can be downloading some options in our JSP part. So while testing the following example, you should upload a file which is of less size than max file size. If a user want to add some specific type of file size, that may be 20 MB, that may be 30 KB, whatever we need to mention in our section. So it must be added in our web.xml section. That means according to that coding, we are getting an environment, we can upload a specific type of size which is available in our system. So next we are going to discuss what are the different coding parts are related to our JSP section. So it is a general way through which it can be mentioned in this section. So here we have a coding, that means this is known as a JSP coding, or we can say user upload sublet coding. So that user upload sublet coding, which is already mentioned in our previous slide. So in this slide we already add some specific type of JSP pattern tags. So we have a page directive tag, and that page directive tag contains an attribute named as a import. In that import attribute we are adding some package named as IO, then util, then sublet package in it. Then we are adding another section of that sublet option through like your HTTP sublet code, and we are adding org.apache.commons.file upload option. That means if a user want to upload any type of file through this option, which is already displayed in this slide. So another option also we have org.apache.commons.file upload disk. If a user want to upload any type of file which is available in our head disk, it is also possible. If a user want to add some files which are exist in our web server or any other device, then we can put here a file upload.sublet or commons.io output sections. So these are some packages need to be uploaded in our system. So it is a general way through which we can be process it. So next we are going to discuss how to adding some sections, or we can say uploading codes in our web page. So we are need to adding your scriptlet tag. In that scriptlet tag we are adding one option named as a file. File is known as a class, and that class must create an object named as a file. Then we need to create a specific type of size. What are the maximum size of a file? That named as a 5000 into 1024 is the size, the maximum size. If a user can use another maximum size options also known as a 5000 into 1024. So here we need to adding another sublet contest class. We can create an object named as a contest. In that contest we are adding a specific method which is known as a page contest.get sublet contest. Is a method through which we are getting an option that is named as a contest. Then we are creating one path. That means that is known as a string path named as a object file path. In that file path we can select that contest in a specific type of web page which contain a file upload option. If a user can select that file from their web browser, then it can automatically extract that location of that file through get init parameter method. From that get init parameter method we can successfully collect the file option through this named as a file upload control of uploading file section. So finally we have another object named as a content type, which is a string type which can have an request dot get content type method which can extract the that is which type of content you need to process it, which is already stored in this content type object. Then we are adding some methods like your if the content type dot index of, that is the one type of method, it should be greater than or equal to 0. If it is greater than equal to 0, then we need to adding another parameter named as a factory. That factory is a object of disk file item factory, and we can create an object of that disk item factory. So it is a part of this class. So this factory must need to set its size, and that size must be set through a method named as a set size threshold method with its maximum mem size. That means file size should be 5000 into 1024. So finally we have another option that is written here, factory.set repository new, the location where is the file is available in our system. It is automatically uploaded in this section. Next we have an option that is named as a sublet file upload, and that sublet file upload must create an object named as upload, and that upload is an object of this sublet file upload option, and is known as a predefined class which is contained in it. So we need to upload that factory. That means that factory contains some options. In that options we are storing more than one files which are stored in this section. Finally, the upload.set size max, which is uploaded is the maximum size of this any type of files which is uploaded through front end to your back end. The next coding section, which is a part of 2, because it is a one long program which is not still completed, it is a 3 part we have. We need to write the try block. In the try block we need to write some statement like file items, and is a part of your object like list. Then we can write a upload.parse request. In that parse request method we need to put it. Then we need to write another object that is known as I is a object of iterator. Iterator is another type of class, and this class helps to process our uploaded files which is available in our front end page. Then finally we are writing here out.println, then HTML tag, because it is one sublet code. In the sublet code we are writing here inside the out.println method HTML. Whenever user can successfully uploaded this file, then it can get one message, and that message must be displayed in our web browser. So this code helps to uploading our, means that may be a text file, that may be an image file, whatever which is available in our web page section. Last but not least, here we have another coding section that is known as fi.write with a specific file named as a file. Then we finally have an option like your out.println. Here we know that out is known as an object and println is known as a method, and that method must having some statement named as the uploaded file. We know that whenever user want to pass some value or query a parameter from the front end to back end, in that moment that file path is an object. That object must carry its path location which is already printed in our web page. So it is a general way through which you can be process it, and in that moment we need to print another statement. We must add a tag that is known as a BI tag, and here that BI tag helps to make a new statement in that web browser. So this is a general course which helps to design a JSP page which is already displayed in our web browser. So finally we have an output section. In that output section we are looking like that. Whenever user can choose option here, that means through that option user can post some text, image or any audio, video files, whatever, but within a size we can mention here. But after that, whenever user can select that file in through this option, we need to post it. Whenever user want to post, in that moment we need to click that button named as a upload file button. So in this way we can easily posting some records, whatever adding in our web browser. So this section we already discussed what are the different ways through which you can upload a different type of files. That may be your text file, that may be image file, that may be a document file, whatever you want to post very successfully from front end to back end without any interruption between the server section. Okay, finally, thank you. Have a nice day.